This week on Arizona Illustrated, we bring you our 2019 Murrow Award Special, recognizing Arizona public media journalists and their award-winning work. Welcome to Arizona Illustrated. I'm Tom McNamara. Each year, the Edward R. Murrow Awards honor outstanding achievements in broadcast and digital journalism. The Murrow Awards recognize regional and national stories that exemplify the importance and impact of journalism as a vital service to the community at large. Let's get started. Tucson artist Alvaro Enciso has made it his goal to remember and honor the lives of migrants who have died in the Sonoran Desert. In the category Feature Reporting, this is an excerpt from Where Dreams Die.
A month ago, I found a dead person out in the desert. And it really gave me the jolt that I needed to understand how horrendous it is to die from lack of water out in the desert. You know, we could have prevented this. We could have prevented this death.
A vast, painful, and violent humanitarian crisis has been unfolding in southern Arizona that is largely ignored and largely erased in the national discourse about immigration.
We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Families are searching without answers, calling and calling and calling, with the terror in their voice of not knowing. And then in the meantime, this national narrative vilifying immigrants and their families.
President Trump continues to hammer the issue of illegal immigration.
These aren't people. These are animals.
They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
It leaves those who are mourning feeling like their tragedy is completely ignored. But know that there's someone who acknowledges that this is happening out there.
I'm trying to honor the courage of the people who make the trip and give a voice to the suffering and the dreams and the hopes and the disappointments. And at the same time, point fingers. Hey, this person died here, this one here, this one here. But I don't want that to determine who I am. I don't want to be identified as an activist. I'm an artist. I'm a human being. I react to injustice. Back in the 60s, I was homeless. I came to the US thinking that everything is possible here. Everything is possible here, but it's not that easy. I was born in Colombia, South America. I came from a very poor family, and I knew that my future was limited. I went to Vietnam as an infantryman because that was my only option. I didn't want to go back home defeated. Being in the Army sort of helped me get an education, get a job. I was hired by the government as an expert in cultural issues. It wasn't until 1989 that I decided to drop it all and become an artist. When I moved here, I immediately wanted to connect with the people who were putting the water out in the desert. And I saw the mass of red dots almost covering the geographical detail of the map. I knew right then and there I needed to take that red dot to where the tragedy occurred. Every time they collect the body, they put a GPS marking where the person was found. So the night before, I look at how am I going to get there? How far are we going to have to walk and be prepared for it? The ultimate goal is to get to the location, one way or another.
There's no way. We just had a birthday, huh? I know that not well.
We try to put 4 crosses every time we go. The red dot mark a location, and we operate in an area that is 40,000 square miles. We'll stop at 3 points right at the left. Wait for you. I got an email from a woman whose brother died here. And she says, could you put a cross for my brother?
When did he die, I wonder?
2013. I have a friend who's my GPS person who's able to guide us to the exact location.
Well, it looks like there might be a couple of ways to connect to it, but the one I think is
Sometimes you have to find
3 miles.
roads that the map doesn't even show.
Right here.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Okay, I gotta put this on 4-wheel drive. I think the rain collapsed the road. I don't want to get in here.
Okay, but you don't want to get in there either.
No, so I'm gonna have to go this way.
Right.
Most of the migrants who died out in the desert were off the trail. They were left behind, they got lost, disoriented, and they ended up walking in circles until they ran out of water and died. It's a tragedy that has a lot of ramifications. There's a void in that family.
After years spent numbing her pain with drugs and alcohol and multiple attempts to end her life, Danielle McFarlin found a reason to live and embarked on a new spiritual journey. In the category Excellence in Video, this is an excerpt from The Survivor. Due to the sensitive nature of this content, viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. This is Danielle McFarlin. You remember me? Yeah, what's up? I'm just calling just to let you know, I guess, more or less what my life has been like, due to having been molested by you guys as a kid. Okay. You know, at 5, 6, 7, 8. I was just too young, I guess, to handle it all.
By the time I was in kindergarten, I'd already been sexually abused by 3 different people. I was raped when I was 3 years old, and they all made me promise never to tell anybody. One of them told me that if I did, that my parents weren't gonna love me anymore, that I was like officially unlovable, and they would disown me and kick me out on the streets. Another one threatened to kill my dog. Nobody knew. It was all just my little secret. Or my big secret. I grew up in Nogales, Arizona. I never really felt like I fit in. I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere because I was putting on this mask of trying to pretend to be somebody I wasn't. So this is definitely during the dark years. I'm trying to figure out how old I was. I was trying to pretend that I wasn't a survivor, trying to pretend that I wasn't dealing with trauma, trying to pretend that I was normal, and I never felt normal.
Scars deep, and it scars through every vein of my body, and there's no hiding it. I mean, I wish you guys would have burned me so I had physical scars, because that'd be easier to cope with than the emotional. I mean, I look at myself in the mirror, and, you know, it's just a constant memory of what you guys did to me.
Any of my traumas have been so impacting, they completely shifted my life. Every single one of them sent me in a different direction, off course of where I was headed. When I got into high school, I started hanging out with some people. He invited me out one night. He would find me after school and kind of signal very sternly, like, I'm giving you a ride home. And I didn't want to do anything that night. I said no. I'd get in the car and he would have other friends with them, and then it was expected that I would take care of whoever he brought along as well. And I was terrified, so I got backed into a corner and had to give in. He threatened that if I ever told anybody, they could go look for my body in Mexico, because that would be where they would find me. So there was no talking about it then either. I graduated early because I was just done and I wanted to get out of that town. And I moved out to Philly and was lonely. I didn't know a single soul out there. On my weekends, I had nothing to do. I'd run up and go visit a friend of the family that lived in Long Island. And then I woke up in the middle of the night to him having sex with me. I thought I had something that said "abuse me" on my forehead. A week after, I was ready to jump off of a bridge, and someone had called the police. They showed up. They took me to a hospital that night. A month later, I attempted to overdose. My stomach pumped, and 4 more attempts. So I can't even kill myself right. Emotionally, I was starting to crack. I could feel that I was becoming less stable, and I felt like I needed to come home.
The lady that gave this to me said she got it in Nogales.
Really?
Yeah.
I met Robin after I'd moved back from Philly. As soon as we met each other, we just kind of hit it off. She definitely kept me in the light a whole lot longer. Well, I'm glad you said yes to coming today. This is a lot. It feels more complete.
It was an automatic yes. Everywhere we went, I just remember people would, look at us or want to hang out with us and ask us out, and it was just fun. It was just a really good time. Up until that weekend that we decided to go to Nogales. And then we parted ways for about 16 years.
You feel it like in your body and it's starting to hit you and you're like, oh yeah, there's no turning back now.
Yeah. Point of no return. There it is. There it is. We started out at a restaurant where we were just drinking margaritas, and we decided to cross the street over to Cucarachas. We were not feeling well. And it would be much more than having, the alcohol effect. And I didn't even realize at the time that we most likely had been roofied. Robin, I write this letter with absolutely no expectations. I'm so sorry for any and all of the pain I caused you. I'm sorry I shut down after Mexico. I had completely blocked the memories of the second part of that night. The employee came up behind me and pulled my pants down. As he plunged into me from behind, I began to puke. Fortunately, that got him to back off. You became a trigger for all the pain. And in that, in turn, triggered memories of all the unhealed sexual trauma from my past. Things got so incredibly dark for me. I spent many nights on the floor of my bedroom on River Road with a gun in my mouth. And I couldn't pull the trigger.
I feel sadness right now. I'm not angry. I just have a heavy heart.
Ever since Glen Canyon Dam was completed in 1963, people have talked about tearing it down. The lake that it holds has survived these 56 years, mostly on the fringe. But as a long, hot drought marches into its 20th year and levels on Lake Powell drop, some are again asking the question, is now the time? In the category News Documentary Radio, this is Resurrecting Glen Canyon.
Ever since Glen Canyon Dam was completed in 1963, people have talked about tearing it down.
People have always resented that dam, and a lot of people consider it to be our country's biggest environmental mistake.
A mistake that killed a canyon and damaged a river.
Rivers are supposed to run. They're not supposed to be dammed up.
Edward Abbey wrote about a plot to blow up the dam in his novel, The Monkey Wrench Gang. Here he is talking about the dam and the infrastructure around it.
I see this as an invasion. These look like creatures from Mars to me.
The dream of bringing down Glen Canyon Dam and draining the lake that it holds has survived these 55 years, mostly on the fringe. But as the West heads into its 19th year of drought and water levels on Lake Powell and the Colorado River drop, is it an idea whose time has come?
For those of you holding tickets for the 10:30 tour of Glen Canyon Dam, we're now ready to start security screening.
I'm in northern Arizona, near the Utah border, with the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation's Marlon Duke.
Yeah, I'm Marlon Duke. I'm the Public Affairs Officer for the Upper Colorado region out of Salt Lake City.
Could you describe to me where we are right now?
Oh yeah, so we're on top of Glen Canyon Dam, looking north at Lake Powell as it curves around the sandstone. Up over the hill is Wahweap Marina, where you can put your boats in. If we turn and look south, then you see the river, and you see that ribbon of water that's going to the south. And to me, that's an interesting image as we see the water that we store here for the upper basin, the water that we release there for the lower basin, and all the people that that's supporting. 40 million plus people who rely on this water.
Those 40 million people live all over the West, from Denver to Phoenix and Tucson, San Diego, even LA. We all depend on that ribbon of water, which, of course, is the Colorado River. Glen Canyon Dam and Lake Powell are two fundamental pieces in the puzzle that is Western water infrastructure. Before we get to the future of Glen Canyon Dam, though, let's talk about its past.
Glen Canyon, before the dam was put in, was considered by a lot of the early river runners and explorers and native peoples to be kind of the panacea of the Colorado Plateau. A lot of the early river runners considered it to be more beautiful than the Grand Canyon.
That's Eric Balkin. He runs the Glen Canyon Institute, one of the organizations that's pushing the idea of draining Lake Powell. Eric's 31, so the dam had already been standing for more than 2 decades by the time he was born, meaning he never got to see the canyon before it was filled with water. I didn't either. But a few years ago, my colleague Gisela Tellis interviewed Katie Lee, a Hollywood starlet, singer, writer, and environmentalist who died last year at 98.
I'm probably best known for my bad mouth and my activism. I wish I were recognized more for my writing, because I don't think my writing's bad at all.
One of the other things she's remembered for is a series of nude photos taken of her in the canyon before it was flooded.
Eden couldn't have touched this place. No. The breezes, they talk to you. And you can talk back and get answers. Some of the vistas were so beautiful, we just stood there and cried. How come? Here I go.
He started skateboarding when he was 5 years old. Now he's pursuing his dream of competing as a professional. In the category Sports Reporting, this is an excerpt from Liam Pace.
It just always came natural. It was just something that like I could do and no one could tell me what to do. Every trick I learned was all me. No one could ever tell me how to skateboard. I pretty much had like 2 friends throughout elementary and middle school. I literally spent every waking moment of my free time on my skateboard. I want to be a professional skateboarder. I've been working really hard to get into the X Games. After that, it's the Olympics, because that's going to be a really big thing for skateboarding, and to be one of the first people ever to be on the U.S. Olympic skateboarding team. It's something that I can push myself to do.
Yeah, more 2x4s too, though. Yeah, we need a lot for the railing. Yeah.
Dad. Yeah. We're gonna have to move this one in the center.
Or we can just lag bolt it.
Try now. The only reason it's a challenge is because we're so high up. Will you hand me another one? Anytime that I wanted to go skate a vert ramp, we had to go to California.
We've been talking about this project probably for at least 3 or 4 years. When he started writing all pro events, it just made sense.
All right.
We've kind of been best buds ever since he was little.
I don't think I would be anywhere close to the person I am or where I am in skateboarding without him. Why the overrows? No. No. I started skating when I was like 5, almost 6. When I was like 7 or 8, they built Santa Rita. And after that is when skating like took off. It was a better skate park. Thank you.
Liam kills it every time I see him skate. I've seen him skate for like 6, 7 years now, and he's just getting better and better and better. That's just blowing my mind right now.
It's an amazing feeling. Natural, floating through the air. Slow motion, almost. Everything's kind of free and nothing has to be harsh.
The kid's got it going on. I mean, he can do just about anything. I've known him since his little bitty, since he first started skating. And I mean, he killed it back then and he kills it now. It's not a thing that you do overnight. I mean, he's put in the time.
Hi, my name's Leah Pace and I'm 8 years old. Please enjoy my video.
He was always the smallest kid, but that was something he could do well, and he just understood the way he needed to be, his body placement, the lines. couple people when he was really small. They just out of the blue was like, is he good in mathematics? And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of an odd question, but okay, yeah. If you ever think about it, there's a direct correlation in being able to understand the lines and the physics.
The only college I've applied to is the U of A. And I got in. I'm in the College of Engineering in a aerospace major. I still plan to go to college while skating, and I help out with my sister because my dad raises us as a single parent.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, thank you for pouring milk.
Yeah.
We are an awesome family, and no one can change it.
Him being the older sibling, sometimes he does have to take on more responsibility than a normal kid his age would.
Nothing runs through my head. I tune out the world around me. And the only thing I'm focused on is the trick I'm doing.
There was so much buzz, and I walked over and I watched him skate, and I said, is this kid pro or what? When I found out he wasn't sponsored, I immediately, of course, wanted him on the team. Being a vert skater in Arizona and Tucson in particular, you're starting out with a handicap right there. This isn't the capital of vert skating.
You got this.
And his dad is so supportive that he let him build this huge monstrosity in the backyard.
Thank you for joining us here on Arizona Illustrated. To see the full version of those Murrow Award-winning stories, go to azpm.org. I'm Tom McNamara. See you next week.